ground team has been to safety. The proto-matter bomb is ready. Since this is your first mission, I'm granting you the honor of detonating the weapon. Get into position when you're ready.
I see. So what else happened? We've just fended off a Tzenkethi attack on Bajor, which was followed up by an unprecedented attack by the species they called the Dranzuli, bug-like spacefaring creatures supposedly in league with the hur'q, ancient Klingon adversaries from whom Klingons were first introduced to alien life. During the hectic skirmish to defend Bajor and simply survive the waves of ships that just threw themselves against DS9, the Tzenkethi Captain defected to the Alliance side as her forces withdrew. On top of this, the Dominion arrived in force from the Gamma Quadrant, and while the Admiralty deals with this, we have the task to evaluate Neth Parr.
Captain Neth Parr has turned herself in to authorities at Deep Space Nine. She's the Tzenkethi officer who delivered vital military intelligence to the Alliance prior to the assault on Bajor. Captain Parr is now actively seeking asylum and claims to have more tactical information for us. I'd like you to debrief the captain and determine the nature of this new information, if possible.
So we beam over to DS9, which at this stage is probably en route back to its original starting point. We arrive in the security office, headed by Ro. Originally this character was Ro Laren, but it seems that they probably couldn't get Michelle Forbes to reprise her role, so instead we have Ro Senna, who may be related.
Welcome to Deep Space Nine. The Chief told me to expect you. The Tzenkethi officer is in the fire room at the back. A Starfleet Captain is speaking to her.
I'm going to assume that this Chief you mentioned is probably still Ro Laren. Walking into the cells, we find Captain LaForge already present, while Neth Parr's hulking form is held at bay behind a force field in a very cramped-looking cell. Or at least, cramped for Tzenkethi. Well, LaForge, good to see you again. Hope the challenge is doing well.
Good to see you again. Tensions are running pretty high where the Tzenkethi are concerned, but Captain Parr has gone through a lot to help the Alliance. She deserves a fair shake.
Agreed. She actually helped our boarding parties get to the command center on the station. Okay, I'll speak to her.
We keep meeting under less than ideal conditions.
Agreed. Next time I'll bring flowers and candles. Why are you in a cell?
The Chief of Security thought it was a prudent measure. Technically, I am under protected custody until the Alliance decides what to do with me. I cannot fault this decision. Our military has much to answer for, myself included. There are many who might see a Tzenkethi face and decide to seek vengeance.
That is kind of understandable, although it feels more like an interrogation at the minute, so I'm going to let you out if you don't mind.
Thank you. Far too many lives have been lost in this crusade, so I'm glad the tactical data I provided helped to save some.
Definitely. If we hadn't called the ceasefire when we did, Captain, things would
No longer. I renounced the title of captain after committing mutiny. Part of the price I paid to save those lives today. Let's move on. I have more information for the Alliance. I presume you are here to collect it.
Yeah, the important people are occupied, so you're stuck with me.
Are you ready to hear my story?
Yes? Why are you being so dramatic?
It began on my first mission as captain. I remember it clearly. Captain's log, mission cycle 132. We have arrived at System 91, local designation EOC. Admiral Tzenkethi prepares to conduct Dranzuli cleansing operations. Our tactical reports indicate minimal threat from the locals. This should be another egg run.
Captain Parr, we are receiving an incoming transmission from Admiral Tzenkethi.
This flashback has you assume the role of Neth Parr on covering her side of this story arc, and for immersion's sake I'm going to try to keep my commentary to a minimum for this, although I will point out the name of her ship, the CSS Steadfast.
Let's not keep the Admiral waiting, Ensign. Put him on screen.
The planet Eog. Scans show it to be filthy with the eggs of the hatred Dranzuli. Their defenses are generally inferior, but their fleet could be dangerous in large numbers. While our ground squad prepares the weapon, we will ensure that no ship leaves this system. If one ship with one egg escapes, the contagion spreads. That is not acceptable. I know this is your first mission as Captain Neth. Don't let your excitement distract you from the task at hand. Stay alert!
Of course, Admiral. We're prepared to enforce containment protocol as ordered, sir.
See to it that you do, Captain. Tzenkethi out. Eoki fleet on intercept course. Eliminate them.
Now, because we're technically playing as the bad guys, in quotes, you don't actually have control of your weapon systems. These ships open fire immediately.
Ships are free. Destroy.
The freighter Starstruck. We're not warriors. Spare us, please.
They hacked our comms, Captain. Ignore them and follow protocol.
Please stop. We're civilians. There's children here.
We have battery. It's all yours if you let us go. We're about to blow up a fortune here. Be reasonable.
We're a hospital ship. We're not a threat. Scan us. We have no weapons. Just sick and injured people.
Yes, as you wish, Admiral. Parr out.
Command is a difficult path to walk at times, Captain, yet you performed your duties well. It will reflect in my next report to the Autarch. I have seen great promise in you today. Faithful service to the Coalition is well rewarded. Don't forget that.
Where once was a brimming M-class world, now only dust remains. The protomatter bomb has removed all organic life, including its inhabitants, and the Admiral's fleet, of which Peth is a part of, secures any attempted escapes.
Thank you, sir. I will not forget today's events for a long time, if ever. That mission took a toll upon me and my crew. To eradicate the Dranzuli was one thing. The eradication of innocent Hur'q was another. Despite my personal feelings, I remained a loyal officer. Things would change under Cronus 3. I led the protomatter bomb squad myself.
Draconis 3. This is the world we first visited alongside Kumarki that set us down this path of examining the protomatter residue.
Draconis 3 is a primitive, pre-industrial backwater planet. There is a large infestation. You know what to do, Captain. And Neth, keep your guard up down there. We think the target site is a temple. If that's so, the local savages may try to stop you. Feel free to discourage them. Aggressively, if necessary.
Our firepower should discourage them, Admiral. They shouldn't pose much of a threat to the mission.
We're good to go here. The weapon's in the green. Protomatter matrix is stable and primed. The Admiral wants us to deploy the bomb in the largest concentration of Dranzuli eggs. Looks like that's in some type of structure ahead, not far from here. Ready to go when you are, Captain.
All right, let's move out. Keep an eye out for the locals and make sure the weapon is protected. No more lucky shots like Vernonin 4, okay? The Admiral roared at me for a 10 cycle over that.
Lumbering through the undergrowth, it's not long before we encounter the locals. They begin to hurl spears at us, but our deflectors and armour absorb the hits easily. I mean, we might as well fight them, right? The protomatter bomb's going to wipe them out anyway.
50 credits says Tashan drops the bomb. Again. Oh, I'll take that. I'm standing right here, you know.
I mean, there's a couple of thousand years of technology between us, so that doesn't exactly feel fair.
This pillar points down the road to that primitive structure. Large concentration of Dranzuli eggs ahead. Doesn't matter where we put it. The whole planet gets scoured. Ask the Admiral. I'm sure he'd just love to tell you. You know, after giving you a year of latrine duty. Both of you, shut it. We've got a job to do here. Yes, sir. Sorry, Lieutenant. Just stay disciplined. Remember what happened on Hatara.
The slaughter continues for some time, and as I figure out the Tzenkethi abilities, I become remarkably proficient at it. In comparison to the wasteland that Hale visits in the not-too-distant future, this world is thoroughly different, a jungle planet of teeming lush vegetation and rope ladders leading towards the towering peaks of this valley.
Are these fools gathering Dranzuli eggs? They wouldn't want these eggs to hatch if they knew what was inside them.
I know, right? Could you imagine if they were dumb enough to think they were just crystals?
What? Are they worshipping the eggs? Status report, Captain. Have you breached the structure yet?
Yes, sir. We found something interesting as well. Transmitting data now.
Starfleet. Interesting. Your scans indicate that image is centuries old. More Federation time travel nonsense, perhaps. Proceed with your mission, Captain. We don't have time for archaeology. Look at this picture. There's a Vulcan in it. Mammals all look the same to me. You know, they probably say the same about us, right? I don't look anything like you. I'm actually good looking. Captain. Dranzuli signatures are most concentrated here.
You don't say.
This looks like a prime detonation site, Captain. We'll get the weapon placed and ready to go. This won't take long. Who's on overwatch while we deploy the bomb?
That'll be me. Get the weapon ready. I'll make sure you aren't interrupted.
While the assault team preps the protomatter bomb, Parr returns outside of the temple in order to defend it from any more interference. The locals might be primitive, but they are tenacious, and we are desecrating their temple.
Is that the door closing? Hey! We're still in here! Captain!
Unfortunately, there's no time to investigate as more of the natives arrive.
Bomb placement complete. Priming for detonation, now! Bomb squad reporting. Need to stabilize the proto-matrix here. The bomb's ready, but we're stuck in here. Transporters can't lock on.
After working our way through a town's worth, we investigate the door.
We're reading a large number of life signs massing near your location, Captain. A large assault is imminent. Is the weapon ready to deploy?
In moments, sir, but my men are still trapped in the structure. Transporters can't lock onto their signals.
Unfortunate, but we don't have time to extract them. We've received a priority assignment from the Autort himself. We must depart at once. Prepare for transport.
Sir, give us a little more time. Beam an engineering team down. We can break into the structure with explosives.
You have your orders, Captain. Your men are acceptable losses, as are you. Would you like to join them?
No, sir. I would not.
With no option left to us, unless we wish to defy orders, we're forced to beam out.
I left those men to die. And for what? So the Admiral could reach his next genocide on time. It was madness.
So there were no evacuation plans? No rescue efforts?
None. The Autarch's orders were quite clear on those matters, and the Admiral was all too willing to execute those orders. When we reached the Atosi system, it had become clear. Our crusade was not a just one.
Atosi Prime. Long-distance scans suggested the presence of Dranzuli infestation, but we'll need to be certain. Standard operating procedure, Captain. Begin by conducting a scan of the planet.
Yes, sir. Let's hope this was a false alarm.
Yeah, let's hope it was a false alarm and we don't end up having to kill everyone.
This is Counselor Hale Atunum. I speak for the Atosi people. We know of you, Tzenkethi, and your purpose here. If you scan our planet, you'll discover that it is free of the bioform objects you seek to destroy. A scan of our moon will reveal the presence of those objects in totality. When we heard the fate of other worlds like ours, we collected the objects and placed them there for you. Scour the moon as you will. It is devoid of life. Atosi Prime, however, is not. Over 4 billion souls dwell here. In their name, I ask you now, spare our world. Spare our lives.
Captain, confirm the Counselor's story. Scan both planet and moon. Verify the location of the Dranzuliates. We've been lied to before, and at great cost. I won't be deceived here today. No signs of infestation, Captain. Shall we scan the moon next?
Yes. Helm, set a course for the Atosi moon.
Captain, I'm reading a large concentration of Dranzuli eggs on the Atosi moon.
Very well. Prepare the torpedo launcher.
As you can see, we have been truthful.
Captain, return to the planet and conduct a deep scan. I want to be absolutely certain
no.
Negative, Admiral. I believe the Atosi were being truthful here. There's no sign of Dranzuli infestation on our sensors.
It could be residual traces left behind when they move the eggs. Or it could be shielded pockets of infestation. Another crude attempt to deceive us. We must be certain, Captain. Prepare to scour Atosi Prime.
Sir, with all due respect, Atosi Prime is not a threat to us. There's no need for this.
There is every need, Captain. Since you appear to be incapable of following my orders, I will deal with Atosi Prime myself. Tactical, prepare to fire a protomatter torpedo at Atosi Prime.
Admiral, no. Don't do this, sir.
No, we're not a threat. We're not.
I could stomach no more after that. I could no longer walk upon the path of madness. My crew felt the same. Together, we began to walk a new path.
It is done. In light of your service to the Autarch and the Coalition, I will not have you shot for treason. If it were anyone else, be warned. The next time you see fit to walk the path of disobedience, I will not stay my hand. I'll see to it that your entire lineage is purged from existence to the last scale and egg. Do I make myself clear, Captain?
Yes, you do, sir. Helm, get us out of here.
And with that, Parr had her fill for violence. The Tzenkethi endeavour had crossed over into insanity. And now we know the rest. Next mission, over the Kentari Lukari colony world, she opted for a peaceable approach instead, and then later allied with our boarding parties.
Admiral Zen Tarak has a lot to answer for. We can only hope the Tzenkethi crusade has come to an end at last and that nothing like this ever happens again.
Yeah, we can only hope. Clearly the captain here too has got blood on her hands, but nowadays, who doesn't?
That path, that choice, led me to where we are now. Walking it ultimately gave me the strength to stand against the Admiral and defect to the Alliance. I think we can both agree that journey has reached its end. From this point forward, I begin to walk along the path of atonement. That journey will never end for me, but I will help as many as I can with every step I take.
And that is a long path to walk. On the bright side, you don't have to walk it alone.
Thank you. I hope your superiors have the same opinion as well. As long as the Autarch lives, he will continue to pursue his insane crusade. I believe I can be of use to the Alliance when the time comes to stop him once and for all. I shall abide by their decision until our paths merge once more.
Until then, we're in the midst of a rapidly shifting situation at the minute, so who knows what comes next. So the Tzenkethi have been purging the Dranzuli for a while, it seems, but eventually we caught wind of their actions. From what we have seen, the hur'q ships were a danger, and if Klingon lore is to be believed, they are a powerful foe. But Hale defeated them in the ancient past, and we beat them back again over Bajor, so clearly the Tzenkethi solution is wrong. Something that captains like Neth Parr here have soon realised. Our next mission begins a new chapter of Star Trek Online, one centred around the Gamma Quadrant, but before that I intend to highlight the introduction missions from the point of view of a Jem'Hadar soldier in the Dominion Army, to see what led them and Odo to this point.
It sounds like Captain Parr has had some harrowing experiences out there. It's clear that the Autarch is dedicated to wiping out every last threat to the Tzenkethi, by any means necessary. Disturbing. Alliance officials will be reviewing the Captain's request for asylum soon. The help she's given us, and your report, will go a long way toward the approval of that request.
We return to DS9. Ignore the fact it looks pristine again. In continuity it's still heavily damaged. But that closes out this chapter of Star Trek Online. However, it's not the end. This chapter was very much about exploration and uncovering a mystery to begin with, and working with the Lukari captures that essence of discovery again. It's a nice reprieve from the war-focused arcs that have come before. However, it's not long before we descend into another struggle, and issues begin to arise once more. So, as I said, next time I'll be starting up a new character, just to briefly touch on the intro like I did with the Romulans when it was relevant, so next time I'll see you in the Gamma Quadrant. Thanks for watching this story series, and I hope to see you back next time as we continue to explore the ever-evolving narrative of Star Trek Online. Thanks again, I've been Rick, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.